and 2 kids. So make sure you save your kids' tickets because we're going to be drawing 2 kids' tickets for those backpacks full of goodies for back to school. In conjunction with that, we also have some mini backpacks. They're called day packs. They look like little mini backpacks, but they're full of all kinds of goodies from ACS and NASCAR. So hope you look forward to getting those too. So every kid that first 75 that comes in will have them for sure. So we have all those set up for you down there to be handed out. So make sure you grab those along with those, cardboard helmets you put together. Those are kind of a neat thing to put together like a puzzle. Did a bunch of those for our racers tonight. So, but also can't say enough. CHI, it's their second event this year. They also do our E-Series, but as Evan's making noise with his microphone here, we'll get you going. CHI Radio, CHI Hospital, bringing you the boxcar races tonight. I've rambled on enough. Cole, why don't you take over while Evan's getting set up here? Hopefully we're on the air now with the YouTube channel. Yep, we got to turn him up.
Yeah,
there we go.
Had to get me turned up. I was a little late coming in here too, grabbing a hat, but yeah, I'm excited for it. Hopefully we got a good turnout. Plenty of kids bringing box cars down there. Unfortunately, I didn't get mine done, so it's still with the chassis builders, so we might have to wait till next year, but it should be a good time. It's always fun seeing the creativity on some of those, and some of the kids get to put on their favorite driver's scheme on their boxes, so it's cool to see what they can come up with.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun night. Some of them really go all out. It's really a neat deal, and we'll get you a little track out there. We'll do a little racing. I think we're going to have some unique things like best appearing and most unique, stuff like that. We'll have some special prizes for that as well. So,
hey, I'm here.
Hey. Good to have you on.
Yeah, we got started a little late here. Cool thing tonight, too, is we have our new T-shirts or our new jerseys on tonight. They finally came in. Thanks to Underdog Design and Drawing. Dre Hampel designed it for us. Ordered them from Velocita, and they look pretty sweet. So
one thing I got to say is Velocita needs to recheck their sizing patterns a little bit. So.
Yeah, I kind of thought I was like,
is that still a little too snug?
Velocita, this is not a 4X to me. Let's put it that way. So.
My 3X fits pretty well.
I know I got a nice figure to show it off with, but what
well, the problem with him is when he needs 4X, he needs 4X bigger and taller is what he needs. So
that's what I said. I need a 3X tall because
they look good. I know some people will be wearing them. We'll all be wearing them tonight. I know Lance is down there in the infield. I know Logan will be wearing them tonight. So they look good. So really, really glad they came in finally.
Got all of our sponsors updated on them. That's a good thing. So.
So coming down to at the end of the year here, we got CHI Kids Boxcar Races tonight. Another night of weekly racing series for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts weekly racing series. And then next week is our Salute to Trucking night. We'll talk about that a little later, but that's going to be a huge night. We're going to have T-shirts on sale again. Big thanks to Keen Thummel Trucking for doing that. It is awesome to have that T-shirt. I see people, I think, every single week trying to wear those to the track, like every single week, all the old T-shirts. So this year, I will tell you, they are going to be like a maroon color this year. They're pretty sweet. They're going to be on sale next week, so make sure if you want one, come on down because they are while supplies last.
They sell out
and trust
every year.
me, they sell out very fast. I think we sold out of them last year before the features even started.
Yep.
So they are probably one of the fastest selling T-shirts. So if you want a T-shirt, you got to make sure you get here early next week if you want one because they go really fast. So
also, like Dre did before, our Salute to Farming shirts, we still have some of those left. They are discounted now, so make sure you stop by on the Souvenir Trader tonight. We got those discounted tonight too, so try to get rid of the rest of those too because they're a sweet shirt as well.
Yeah, I like that he's been this year kind of using darker colors that aren't black because I feel like when I go into my closet to look at race T-shirts, they're all just black. I'm like, man.
Need some different stuff.
It's 90 degrees out, and all I got is black T-shirts.
We told Dre that too, and Dre's kind of agreeing that we need to get some variety out there because everybody has black and gray and white, and we need some different colors. So make sure you get one of those, and then the following week after that is our championship night. So again, we only have 3 weeks of racing left, of regular season racing left, and it's gone by so fast. It always does. The summer, I start school again on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I have to go back, and then the kids go back the following Wednesday. So it's coming down to it again. But like I said, this is one of the best times for racing because there's so many big races around the area, not just here but everywhere. Knoxville Nationals is on tonight over in Knoxville. I know I'll be watching it on Dirt Vision. Pulling for my dude Rico Abreu. He's starting on the outside of the front row. So
Yeah, what a front row there. Rico and Kyle Larson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I was
man.
there on Thursday night when Rico started in the 21st spot and finished 5th. Wish I could be over there tonight, but got to be here. So, but it's a great time to be a race fan. Like I said, there's a lot of great racing around the area at a lot of different tracks. And then getting down to it specials-wise, things like that. And, we'll have ours at the end of the year and things like that. So it'll be...
and we'll talk to you more. There'll be more coming out this week about tradition, official stuff on that. So make sure you pay attention to our website, Facebook, everything else. We'll
that is the number one thing, race fans. That's the only thing that I will say, race fans, is make sure that you pay attention to the social media on the tradition, because nothing is set in stone yet. Just because we put out that flyer doesn't mean that it's set in stone. So nothing is set in stone yet. We have not officially agreed on nothing. So we are going to do that as quick as we can. Make sure you're following on social media to make sure you get the information that you need on that race. So, but again, tonight, another great night of racing. I think we have Compact King of the Hill tonight too.
Yep, Compact King of the Hill tonight.
So we're going to be doing eight
firearms,
50-50 winners, contestants again tonight. Every contestant will walk away with something. Last week, I think we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give away a free ticket. So if your name gets called and your driver does not win, you're still going to win something. Yep. So, and then obviously whoever wins the King of the Hill, if you get matched with that driver, you win the 50-50 pot. So make sure that you are seeing Jacob Arnold tonight down there 50-50. I know a lot of people like to wait to the last minute for some reason to buy tickets.
Which last week we were a little slow getting out there.
Yeah, because everybody waited to the last minute to buy tickets.
The heat races went fast last week, so don't wait so long. I mean, when we're moving right along, we were done at
and we'll do a better job of announcing too a little bit.
Yeah.
Make sure that we're reminding people that, hey, make sure you get your 50-50 tickets bought quickly tonight.
Last call means last call, folks.
My dad,
last call.
My dad was on the upper decks here, and he started selling tickets up here, and my dad said he got surrounded like bringing a feed bucket out into a cattle pasture. Just everybody was coming up on him.
Yeah, because we finally announced that it was last call, and then everybody was like swarming at him trying to get tickets.
A lot of people texted me from the deck saying, hey, we need to have him up there on the deck. So I made sure he got up there, but he did get swarmed. It's a good thing. Get those tickets sold, but make sure you get out there. Once again, we'll be drawing 8 tickets for the Floating Vine Compact.
So if you see him, race fans, wave him down. Don't just let him walk by you. If you want a 50-50 ticket, because that might be the only time you see him, because he's got a lot of ground to cover up here. So
and heat races go fast, folks. So we got him done in 40 minutes last week, and that's when we're going to draw right at intermission.
And I don't know if he's going to go to the infield tonight, because it took a lot of his time last time. So if you are going into the infield and you want a 50-50 ticket, make sure you contact somebody in the stands to buy one for you. Because I don't think he's going to be going into the infield tonight, because that took quite a bit of his time last time. So
it's a matter of getting timing to get across in between races and stuff like that. It's a little tough sometimes. So, but anyway, we'll try to make an effort to get some tickets sold in the infield, because I know we have several people who like to buy them in there as well. So, but once again, this will be our last King of the Hill, McCunn Specialty Firearm King of the Hill, for our Floating Vine Compact. So, got to give a shout out to Floating Vine right here in Corning as our new compact sponsor. Tell you what, guys, last week's races, another great night of racing. Like always, I've already mentioned the hobby stocks. What a show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus.
Those guys are, I mean, like I said last week, 12, 15 guys, any of those guys can win. It's like there's nobody stretching it out there ever. I mean, there's 10 guys in a pack that can go anywhere. I mean, it's just amazing to me. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, man, at the end there, it kind of looked like Hensel was going to, get a bigger points gap over Luke Ramsey, but obviously in 3 and 4, I think, and it looked pretty bad when you first watched it, but you could see that Adam didn't mean to get into it. Was it Hensley that he got into?
Eric, yep.
Yeah, and you could see that he was out of the throttle, doing everything he could to let him save it, and I think Eric just kind of overcorrected, and then I believe he caught Luke Ramsey coming out of the corner, and it was just kind of one of those accordion effects. Everybody was trying to slow down. The people behind didn't know what was going on, and I just felt bad for everybody involved, because it obviously wasn't on purpose. So, yeah. But I tell you what, Tyler Gray was waiting in the wings, and you got some people say it's luck, but you got to keep yourself in that position in case anything happens. So
what a way to get your first win, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to remember that forever. He'll be up here
Days of
tonight.
Thunder coming through the
Yeah, I was
smoke
gonna
clouds,
say.
like,
Driving through the smoke like Cole Trickle. I'll tell you that.
Well, there was smoke. There was a bunch of radiator smoke going.
well, people are wondering, well, what are the well, we didn't throw the green because we were letting it shake out, which is what we usually do. We, unless it's a rollover, we automatically know it's going to be a yellow or a red there. But the winner came to the checkered flag before everything was shaken out. So that's why I wasn't knowing there was nothing going back to the previous lap, stuff like that.
Yep.
That's where they finished. That's how, unfortunately, Luke got caught up in that stuff and everything else.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the cars were still pacing the track trying to figure out if the race was over or not, and everybody was asking me, and I said, hey, once that leader crosses the checkered flag,
Yep.
and, I mean, yeah, the yellow flag came out pretty close to when he crossed it, but once he crosses it, it's over.
Yep.
As long as the leader crosses the checkered flag, the race is over. So, unfortunate break there for some of our top point getters, but it was kind of a wash. I mean,
it was.
I mean, it was kind of like the night didn't even happen because the points gap is still very similar.
Yeah.
11.
And I mean, I think it was 9 coming into last night or last
15,
weekend.
wasn't it? I don't know.
I think Hensel was only leading by 9. I think,
Okay.
or maybe
No,
it was.
it's
15. No,
15,
yeah.
'cause Luke gained some points there is what he did. So, yeah.
So, but speaking of points race fans, these next 2 nights, again, we're going to try to get. I think we're going to speak with some winners tonight, but next weekend probably, and of course, the championship night, we're going to get all our points leaders up here because, well, I would. What?
Some of them think you jinx them, so we'll see.
Well, if they agree to come up here, we would love to talk to our point leaders because, I mean, we're getting down to it. I know a lot of drivers
Absolutely.
don't like to talk about points, but it's that time of year, and it's I know it means a lot for these guys, especially when you've been here every single week all summer long. It's a cool accomplishment to win, but I think the biggest surprise I've seen this year is Adam Hensel. I mean, he's a guy that has never raced for points at any racetrack. He said that last week. He's never raced for points anywhere. I mean, I would have put a lot of money on Luke Ramsey to win again this year, but and he's right there again. But hats off to that 7H team, man. He is really consistent. Last week was his I think his worst finish all year, and that was because of contact. So if there wouldn't have been any contact there, I mean, he would have got second last week.
Yeah.
So it's the old blazing banana team has really figured her out. So
Yeah, it seems like every week he's just really consistent. It's just if they're having a bad night or his car doesn't look like it's handling the greatest, he just always finds a way to get up into the top 5. And I think, Luke there for a couple weeks had some off weeks. It seemed like maybe they missed the car a little bit, and it really let him get up right next to him in the points championship. And but yeah, I mean, good for that team. I enjoy watching them battle. It's fun to watch. You never know what's going to happen. So
I just can't say enough about our hobby stock class. I think I say this every single week, but my God, our hobby stock class this year has just some barn burners. I mean, 2 weeks in a row now, there has been a pass on the last lap for the win. 2 weeks in a row now, and 2 weeks ago there was 3 passes for the lead and 1 on the last lap, and this week it was Cole Trickle driving through the fire. It was crazy. So, race fans, if the hobby stocks are the last class of the night and you leave before the hobby stocks, you are missing out. Literally missing out.
Like they did on Super Late Model Night.
Yeah. I mean, all those people left, and then they missed.
Oh, yeah.
You guys warned them they were going
They missed the best race of the night.
Yep. We said it as they were walking out. We're like, you guys don't know what you're about to miss. And then sure enough, best race of the night. So it was, they just constantly deliver. And it's made me really, I used to, when the hobbies came out, I'll be honest, when I was a fan up in the stands, I'd just kind of be like, it is what it is. Now I'm like, the hobbies pull onto the track and I get all excited. And I tell you what, I hope that the racing stays like this the next few years. And I'd love to maybe even see if the tradition, the Jeremy Ribby memorial race, the tribute race, get bigger and bigger. Because I would I'll say it, I think we have some of the best hobby stock racers in Iowa. And I would like to see the guys from up north come on down and mix it up with our locals.
Just like the, not taking away from any of the class, because last week there was some great.
Yeah.
Closest race of the night, though, stock car race. I mean, that was an incredible finish. that was just amazing. What was it, .008 or something like that? It was just
like 8/1000ths of a second.
Incredible. So, but that's. I mean, Jason Rold led that thing the whole darn time, and then Brad got him on right.
It should have been a closer finish than what it showed, actually, because they found out afterwards that Jason actually had his transponder mounted further back on the car. So if it would have been in the normal spot, I bet it probably would have been .02 somewhere in there, because it was. I mean, I wouldn't doubt if it was maybe 6 inches at most that he beat him by.
Yep. I mean, I'm up in the tower and I couldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
One. I looked at the scoreboard waiting for it to change because I couldn't tell myself on that one. So that was darn close. And then on top of that, modifieds, another great race there. Jeff James come back with his new car. The funny thing about that was he was making hay up through there, and all of a sudden it looked like his car died. Well, come to find out in the interview, it did die because there was a on-off switch that he didn't know.
His on-off switch, I guess, was by his shoulder, and he came out of 4 and like moved his arm and hit it with his elbow, and the car shut off. And he was like scrambling trying to get it fired back up again. And he was very fortunate that he had the lead that he had. But honestly, even if Jesse would have passed him, I think Jeff would have passed him right back because his car was the best car of the night. I mean, it was the fastest car every lap consistently, and it would have been really cool if he would have started deeper in the field because I think he was definitely the car to beat last week, and it just goes to show that he's missed 3 months, first week back, and he wins. So
he's gonna be one of our guests tonight as well. So Evan Davis gets his first win a week ago and comes right back and backs it up in dominating fashion.
He's going to come up here and talk to us again, too.
So that's great, because I tell you what, I was down at the flag stand because I had to get the trophies across, so I was waiting for that race to be over, but I'm down there right on top of the action, and that motor, when he goes by, that thing sounds so smooth when it comes by. It's just, I mean, they've got that car dialed in, and it shows.
The old open motor.
He dominated that baby, I'll tell you that. So.
Yep, and he's going to have to, I believe with the points average, he's going to have to start a little deeper tonight, so it'll be fun to see if he can climb up through there and try to go. And I tell you what, if he goes 3 in a row, I think we might have to start looking at some bounties because he's putting together some nice runs. His first week was pretty dominant. I'd say he was probably the fastest car all race long. This week, he had some guys breathing down his neck, and he didn't crack under the pressure, so it'll be fun to see what he can do. I'd assume with the points average, he'll probably start anywhere from 4th to 6th, I would think. So
should be around there. Yep.
Yep. So it should be fun to watch.
I'm getting a couple comments on YouTube. People asking about streaming stuff tonight. We do not have any streaming tonight, race fans. The streaming stuff is one of our goals that we're going to have probably next year.
Yep.
We would love to consistently have a streaming platform here to stream our races weekly. I know a lot of racetracks do that, and they're very successful with it. Again, this year was kind of a trial run to see how things were going to go. We do know that we're going to have to get probably a better Wi-Fi system or something.
No, it's not necessarily that. It's manpower. And I'll tell you right now, folks, you want to see that happen, then contact me because I want to get it happening, but it takes some manpower to run the camera and the equipment. So that's what it comes down to is we're going to make this happen because it's not the future, it's now. And that's what every track has pretty much. And you know, you got to have a streaming that you can, it's a pay-per-view type thing to not take away revenue and gain us revenue. That's how you have to do it. And the people out there want it, as I'm sitting beside one that's subscribed to 4 or 5 different ones. So
Cole's the same way.
I mean, you guys,
but Cole uses my Dirt Vision.
I was going to say, I have 2, but I mooch off of his Dirt Vision. So.
But I mean, that's just the way it is, you know. And I don't disagree. It's a neat thing to have. I mean, many years ago, Joe Pate, the late Joe Pate, started around here, and we were one of the first ones. We had closed circuit here. We had TVs in the bathroom. Everything was recorded.
Oh yeah,
I've got all those CDs.
We've gone from one of the first ones to do it. Now we're like one of the last ones to get a weekly setup. Right. So
it's, you know, I want to get back to that. That's going to be one of my goals in the off season to get this set up and done. So it has to happen. So you know.
I tell you what, it puts it into perspective how nice we have it now. I was watching the Front Row Challenge this week, and Flo was having some issues where commercials kept randomly dropping, and people were in the comments. They're like, "What a horrible live stream!" And I'm like, "Man, 10 years ago you wouldn't have been able to watch this race."
Yep.
So it's like, you know,
yep.
they do. probably 300 streams a year, and man, if they have one issue,
Probably more than that.
And a big thank you to KCSI Radio. We've done live streaming with them twice, and that was free, folks. So it was a big teaser to see how it would work. They do a great job. They do all of our local sports, especially the Red Oak area. They do an awesome job. They have awesome equipment. They've even said to us, it's something we need to look at doing, ourselves, because obviously it's the pay-per-view type thing you have to get done. So, and their job is to make money themselves too. So
that's pretty cool. So one of the ladies that commented, Grace Morgan, thanks for watching. She lives in Idaho.
Oh, awesome!
She has a grandson that races. So
that's awesome.
So that's cool. Hey, yeah, Grace, if you wanna put down who your grandson is, that'd be awesome. But greetings from Idaho.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
So, it is. And we can talk about that all night about getting this set up. But that is going to be one of my priorities to get this done in the off season, so we can get that done. And anybody that wants to give me a call and get this help set up, that'd be awesome. So on top of that, we have a guest sitting here waiting. So let's go ahead and take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back here with Pitside Live. Back up. Turn me back up because it logged me off again. So I'll log in, guys, while you keep talking, and we'll do this again. For some reason, the computer shut me off again. So I'll have that fixed next year too. This thing has been crazy how bad this is.
That's because
you're gonna have to hit a Black Friday sale at Best Buy for a new computer.
or just chomp at the bit and actually buy a computer that's worth the crap. So
we could do that.
I tell you what, we'll have a good time on Black Friday. We were discussing our plans up in the booth. It's too bad we don't have mega Wi-Fi here, because we were talking we need to get some smart TVs set up in the booth, because it seems like every night we have like 3 different races we want to watch while announcing.
Well, that was the plan for this booth.
We need a fan.
Right here, so.
We need a fan, and then we need like 2 flat screen TVs. You know what? I might actually text my girlfriend and go tell her go to Dollar General and buy us a fan.
One more time, folks. Here we go.
There we go.
Let's see if we can go to commercial break. We'll be right back with you, folks.
Subscribe to the KCSI Radio YouTube channel today. Interviews, parades, events, contests, and more. Subscribe to KCSI Radio on YouTube and get notified every time something fun happens.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels. Giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camblin Mechanical or visit CamblinMechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Even if it's been years since you graduated, your college team is your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home, and business insurance. Imagine that. One insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. So get a Farm Bureau agent for life.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Elizabeth Davison in Clarinda and Shenandoah at 712-621-2878 for all your insurance and financial needs.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Also, welcome to our Facebook fans on Facebook. That's horrible. Our YouTube fans on KCSI Radio. Welcome back to getting to see our lovely mugs on there as well.
Want to go do results?
Yeah,
really quick?
that's what we're going to do. I got them pulled up right here, right now. We're going to go ahead and get into our Chat Mobility Hobby Stock results from last Saturday night. And I have them pulled up right in front of me, but I just scrolled right past them as I'm talking here. So, all right, 10th place last week is Ed Swanson in the 44 car. Good run by Ed. Tom Myers in 7th finished 9th. Anthony Fletchall in 29 finished 8th. 7th place was Dave Wide Open Weedy in the 40X. Bennett Johnson in the 21B 6th. Derek Myers followed him in 5th place. 4th place was Cody Warner in the 21 car. Buddy Heitzik in the 16 was 3rd. 2nd place was Jared Lunn in the 95. And Tyler Gray, first-time winner here at Adams County Speedway, was your winner. And go ahead and we'll give you the points before we start talking about Tyler.
All right, top 10 in your Chat Mobility Hobby Stocks point standings. 10th place is the 5-car of Derek Myers. 9th place is the 29 of Anthony Fletchall. 8th place is the 95 of Jared Lund. 7th place is the 40X of Dave Weida. 6th place is last week's feature winner, Tyler Gray out of Clarinda in the 12G. 5th place is Tom Myers out of Glenwood. He also has one feature run of the season. 4th place is the 21 car of Cody Warner out of Clearfield. One feature run of the season with 9 top 5s out of 13 starts. 3rd place is the 16 of Buddy Heidzik out of Bedford. He has 3 feature runs in the season. That's tied for most. He has 8 top 5s out of 13 starts. 2nd place in points, and he's only 11 points back, race fans, of your points leader. It is Luke Ramsey out of Bedford. He has 3 feature runs in the season with 9 top 5s. But your point leader, the 7H of Adam Hensel, with 2 feature runs on the season. But the reason why he is the point leader is because of this stat right here. He has 12 top 5s out of 13 finishes. So last weekend was the first weekend that he did not finish in the top 5. But we got Tyler Gray, a.k.a. Cole Trickle, driving it through the smoke. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
The wave parted.
God just did the old Red Sea, just parted the Red Sea for you, didn't he?
He did.
Was it God or Jeremy doing it for you?
Well, we'll say it was Jeremy.
Yeah.
He was probably up there watching. He's like, dude, about frickin' time.
He probably was. He's probably been saying that for a while.
But
you've had a fast car all year, though. I'll tell you what. So you're one of those guys that we talk about. It's coming. It's coming. We talk to a lot of guys. It's coming. And did you have that feeling too, or?
Well, no. I'm glad you guys did because I wasn't feeling it.
It's been ups and downs.
It has. It's either in the top 5 or 13th. That seems like where I was running back and forth. So we did get it done. I was pretty pumped about it, as everybody could see.
So take me through. I always ask drivers this, but this one's really cool. Take me through the turn 4, man. Like, what was your initial reaction?
So when we come into 3, and I knew that they were tight, and they were coming in real tight, and they started to get together, and Eric started to lose it, I just hammered it, and all I could think was, we're either going to get around this or we're getting collected, one or the other. So we just went for it.
And when I look back at the replay, you were just right place, right time.
Right. Yeah.
The seas parted, but it's going to be one that you'll probably never. You're obviously never going to forget it. And what a way to get your first win.
It was a pretty awesome win for sure. To be honest, I really wanted to actually pass the cars and win.
But you
not
did.
like that. I know Eric was really trying to get it done. He hasn't done it in a hobby stock yet, but. He did have the bad luck when I capitalized on it, so.
That's the thing. It was just amazing because I think, if I remember right, Jared London really got caught up in it too, but he was able to get across the finish line because I think his car is in pretty bad shape, I think. Didn't you say that?
Yes, Jared's car was pretty much destroyed.
Yeah. So.
But
he'll be here.
But
oh, good.
But
Got
I
her back
think
going good, so.
But I think the problem with Jared is he's just so into this stuff that he just can't not be here. He's that type of guy.
I'm glad he got it back together.
He did work his butt off this week, and I've seen some comments and stuff, but he had to do a lot of work to that thing. I mean, that thing was bent up every which way. The radiator was up. The radiator was pretty much touching the top almost by the carburetor. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, but well, Tyler, it's you started racing last year, and you kind of just did it just kind of fall into place where you just started racing the car ever since Jeremy passed and things like that? Was it something you've always wanted to do, or?
To be honest with you, I enjoyed racing. I mean, I raced for years, Evan, if you didn't know this. There's so many features I won from the grandstands. It is way easier to win in the grandstands than it is on that track, I can tell you
12-ounce curls.
Yes. Yeah. And, I mean, I could tell the drivers, come on, do this, do that,
right.
you know. And
isn't it amazing how they never hear you?
Oh, yeah,
they don't ever listen,
do
they? They never listen.
It's a lot harder when you get on the track, isn't it?
It is definitely a lot harder on that track, for sure. Very intimidating coming off those long straightaways into the corners, but you know, we went with it. We were going to just do it, and then it just started to gradually get better and better, and I thought, well, we might as well just keep doing it, you know.
And then you start to get sponsors, and then people start supporting you, and people want to see you, and then your kids get involved. I know your kids are very involved.
I think the biggest thing, you know, I come out of the gate with that car with a lot of sponsors, and a lot of people did it to keep the car moving, you know, so that was pretty awesome. And I got a list of people that I'm going to name off. But we started out that way, and then I got together with Brad Derry. I like to call us a team. You know, he's not real onto the team thing, but I like to call us a team. But Brad has helped me a lot. He's taught me a lot of things. We've traveled to a lot of places. He's been a mentor for sure, and
you're
helping me.
Camps. Everybody has their camp down there.
Yes.
Different camps down
I'm telling you, you guys need to get similar wraps next year.
There's a big camp across from you there, and you guys got your camp here. So
I don't want people thinking too weird of us if we had the same wrap on our cars.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, that one year, the Ramsey crew, they wrapped all their cars the exact same, and everybody seemed to like it. So
Jim Tall did that to us too.
I mean, you have the same. Your T-shirt has both of you guys on there. So
yeah, this is our duo shirt, our team.
Yeah. You guys need to come up with a team name.
Why don't you come up with that for us?
Okay, we will. I'll come up with something inappropriate.
We'll work on that. Anyway.
But when you crossed checkered flag last week, everybody was trying to figure out if the race was over. Yeah. Did you think it was over?
I had no idea. My battery went dead, my receiver, so I had no idea what was being said. I made a few laps. The way I actually figured it out is I coming into 4, I looked in the pits and seen guys going up into the tech area, and then I looked at the scoreboard and seen 12 and first and 0 laps. And as I come around 4, I seen them out on the front stretch, and couldn't tell you what I was thinking in my mind at that time was,
I'm
holy
sure
cow,
you were, yeah.
I can't believe I just did that.
Well, it was the same thing up here because we were all looking at each other, and I said the green stayed out. I said the yellow never came out. We finished that under green, so you know there was no going back to previous laps. That's what
once you cross the start finish line, it's over.
Yeah, we all confirmed it, and it's like, yeah, this is an official race. I mean, there was no yellow, and it's like, and that's what you couldn't hear him because he finally got on and says, okay, race is over, guys. So yeah, because there were people yelling, there's a guy up here, and now the race is over. So you obviously couldn't hear all that, but one exciting way to look up the scoreboard and say, hey, I'm in the first column.
It was very exciting, you know, and I was just blown away with, I cannot believe this actually happened. This is a tough track to race at. That class is a tough class. You know, I listened to the radio before I got up here, and you guys talked about 10 different cars that could win at any time, and that's true. I mean, there's a lot of guys down there who are very competitive and very fast, and being able to be up there with them now is a huge accomplishment for me.
Well, when that wreck happened, there's like 15 cars right there that could have got cut because you guys don't separate much. That's a pack out there all the time.
That's why it's the best race.
It's like a restrictor plate race out there with you guys because nobody blows anybody away.
Every single week, I say this every single week. The hobby stocks are the race every single Saturday night because for some reason, with this half-mile racetrack, the hobby stocks, it just fits perfectly with these half-mile racetracks. I mean, it's such great racing because hobby stocks are such a momentum car, and this track just is a momentum racetrack, and it just fits perfectly. And it's just, I don't mean to be biased because this is my home racetrack, but I watch a lot of races in a lot of different racetracks, And your two classes that are kind of boring at other racetracks is compacts and hobby stocks. But when you come here, it's way different. Compacts and hobby stocks are putting on hell of a shows up here because they're actually, full speed. I mean, it's just really good racing. And with you, Tyler, you've gone such a long way from where you started. Because I remember when you first started, you were just like, like if I finish, I finish. If I don't, I don't. And now this year, you worked really hard this off season trying to get your car better and better. And I could really tell that you cared a lot and you wanted to be good. And you were getting really frustrated there for a while. So this has got to be like a relief thing too.
Oh, for sure. This is what all the off-season work does, is for that moment, and you get to look back and, man, I did put in a lot of work. Not myself. I had a lot of people to help me, but put in all that work, and this is what you get for putting in the work. So,
and he was talking about how this track is set up, but one thing I've noticed this year for sure is that to me it used to be so much momentum. It was high side, but there's several of you guys being able to pass down low now. So I don't know if you're, second year in, I don't know if you're noticing that too, where there's more than one group out there a lot of times.
Yeah, I try to watch a lot of the other cars. There's a handful of good drivers out here, and I try to watch to try to pick up some pointers on how they do it and what they do. So it seems to help.
Yep.
And you're a guy too that has a big following down here too. Your crew sits right over here, and I hear them every Saturday night. When we announce your name for lineups and everything, they're always loud and it was really cool when I walked down there at the gate and I said the race is over, and then everybody just started screaming, and then you're going down the front stretch. I know you can't hear them, but it was really surreal. I mean, it was one of the loudest roars I've ever heard here. So it was cool.
That's a good feeling. You need to record that on the next one so I can hear it.
And that's why we would love to have streaming services here in the future, because you can go back and you can listen and you can watch that stuff. Drivers love doing that.
Kind of like this. You can go back and watch us do this show right here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you can go back and watch yourself on YouTube.
Oh, I go watch a lot of stuff. Lois Derry is incredible with the phone
Lois does
videos.
Great for us. She really does. She's
we've
what we
used used her videos sometimes to go back and make calls. So
no, not make calls, but look to see what call we made. What did we think about the call? We there's no way we can make calls with it, but it's the only reference we have right now. So that's what we need the service to get set up. So
she does an amazing job of staying on me.
Yes, she does.
Unless I fall to the back, and then that's fine. She can go up where the action's at. But I mean, I go back and I watch the videos that she records of me, of Brad, of all of us multiple times over to see where did I make a mistake or what did I do wrong, what should I have done different. So kudos to her for doing that for every race. So it's great.
I remember a lot of guys too for a long time had in-car cameras too. I don't know if you've ever tried that.
GoPros and things like that.
See a lot of guys do that.
The problem with GoPros is you get mud clogged on it.
Yeah.
When the mud gets on the lens and you forget to clean it off, you're screwed. You can't
Yep.
see anything. So
I've seen a lot of guys pull that, try to do that too to get some of that. So, but it is amazing how much drivers reference that stuff. So, but I tell you what, it was an exciting deal. I always root for people to get their first win. Tanner Dixon got his
2 weeks
first
in a
win
row
this
now.
year. It's like it's such a neat deal. I always want to see everybody get their first win, and you go out there and back it up again. That's what I would tell them.
And the ironic thing is your car came from Tanner, and you win and he win back-to-back night. That's just so ironic. Because your car, I don't know if you know that, his car is that car that sat at Tanner's shed, that yellow and red
really?
car.
Okay.
That's that car. That Tanner bought it and never raced it. It used to be yellow and red.
Yeah, lives across the street from me.
Yeah, so that's that car.
the
So because Jeremy took it from him and raced it, and now Tyler's racing it. It's just it was an ironic deal. So
tell you what, I know you got a list. Things people want to thank, sponsors, you betcha.
No, it's a big one.
That's good.
Take some time.
Good. That's good.
So I'd like to start out by thanking my wife and kids for allowing me the time to work on the car week in and week out. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of people who help out, not only on the car, but advice as well. Brad Derry, huge help. He's definitely guided me through this a lot. Gives me a lot of advice. He also lets me try things that he knows isn't going to work, but still lets me try them just so I can get it out of my head. Jeremy Otten, huge help. Since Jeremy passed and I got the car, I had to lean on him and ask him because he helped Jeremy a lot. And I said, man, I need your help with this because I'm not sure what I'm doing. So he stepped up, and he has helped a ton. Curtis Gaunt, he's been a great help. Him and Jeremy were really good friends. Curtis and I have been friends for a long time, but he's definitely stepped up and helped me. Along with multiple other people, offered a hand to get the car where it is. Also, my biggest fan, and Buddy Heidzik's least biggest fan, Cannon Pullen. I'm sure everybody has seen him. He was pretty excited to get across that track down there to take a picture with my car. They had to snatch him up and hold him back.
I saw him walk down, and I grabbed him like, "Here, come with me. Let's go. Come on."
Oh, he was coming for sure. I couldn't have the car where it is today without the help of the sponsors on the car. The first sponsor is going to go out to my guy in the sky, Jeremy Ribby. Miss you tremendously every single day, but I wouldn't be able to do this if the car wasn't here for me to do it with. Shore Motor Company, Josh Wyman, Bax Sales out of Des Moines, Ken Baxter, H&H Trailer, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Jake Gillespie, Scroggs Farms, Blake Scroggs, Wooster Farms, Greg Wooster, 3D Construction, Levi Dairy, Dairy Construction, Delmer and Lois Dairy, Mike's Auto Recycling, Mike and Millie McNeese, Micaiah May, it's a memorial, it's my niece, Ben and Matea Fritz, Bodies by Otten, Jeremy Otten, The Tiger Den is Melanie Stewart, Dow Construction, Josh Dow, Churchill Farms, the one and only Scuba Steve Churchill, J&C Photography, Joe Moore, I'm sure you guys all see him down there walking around, Sticks Crew was Wendy Weaver, Rescom Services, Jeff Verba, and Get Some Garage, Jared Lund. I also got some special thanks that I want to throw out. Dolores Argo, she's my grandma. She wanted to sponsor the car, so she gave me 2 quarters. That's what she had to give.
Awesome.
I glued them to the dash of my car, and I'm actually down a quarter. One come loose. So
that's cool.
I'm going to have to hit her up on that to get another quarter back.
There you go.
Awesome.
My mom and my stepdad, Dave Madison. My dad, Slapia Farms, my brother-in-law and sister, Adam and Renell. Taylor Dairy. Taylor does an amazing job. I put her name on my car, and all she has to do is just keep my helmet clean and keep tear-offs on it. Cool. Taylor does a great job. Josh Dairy helps with the car down there as much as possible. Josh and Ashley Woods, they did some money to me this year to help me out. Chris Stewart also did that, and Josh Dornbush, big help. So over the off season, putting the car together.
Well, you got some people watching us. Ronald Shalapia said Tyler Gray is my favorite driver out there. So proud of him. So he's watching you on here. So we got people from Idaho watching us. We got people. I mean, it's just a cool deal to be able to do this and be able to thank the people that you need to thank. And that car is not down there just because of you. It's because of all the people that help you. So, and you're there, man. You got it down, and the monkey's off your back, and there's no stress now. Just race.
Yep.
For sure. And there's a ton of drivers down there. I mean, I could go on all night thanking them guys. You know, Luke Ramsey, everybody knew the night that I caught the motor on fire in the pits. And, I mean, there was guys coming from every direction. Ramsey was there, Toll was there, Lund was there. I mean, there was everybody there to get the car put back together. And that's the night I won my first heat race. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys down there with a lot of advice that reach out and help anytime needed. I mean, the only one that I don't usually listen to is Buddy. Buddy and I got a little thing, you know. But
it's just Buddy.
But at the end of the day, hands down, Buddy comes over every time and tells me good luck and be careful. Awesome. So, I mean, we got a thing.
Awesome.
I think it's actually Cannon, whoever can get him to like him the most, you know. So
he's got his 2 favorite drivers, the 16 and the 12. So there you go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad you're up here. Congratulations. Well deserved. Really appreciate you coming up here. Like I tell everybody, you know, go back out there and just back it up.
We appreciate your support, Tyler, and make sure that you stay on it because you're addicted now. You're in it, and I don't think you could. I don't think you're going to be able to sit back up in these stands again without
no more grandstand jockey.
Yeah,
don't work anymore.
Now you're a racer. It's really hard once you turn racer to get back in these grandstands and watch.
Sure.
So
for sure.
Well, race fans, I was driving a 12G car. It's Tyler Gray out of Clarinda, Iowa. We're going to take another quick break. We're going to come back with you on Pitside Live.
furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them. Plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no-appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs. From
Welcome back, race fans. The Pit Side live here at KCSI 95.3 Radio, as long as the KCSI YouTube channel. Thanks for watching us live. And Cole's going to go ahead and give us some results from our O'Reilly Auto Parts B-Modified feature from last week.
All right, so I got the top 10 here. Coming home in 10th was Donnie McClellan. Didn't butcher the name this time. I had to do that a couple times. The first time I said it that night, it was
like McCullen or something.
Yeah.
So funny thing about him, that's the first time in a long time he's been back. He got second the night my dad won his only feature down here.
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
So wow. It's old time racing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome. But so 9th was Kirk McKay, Michael Leal 8th, Nick Gross 7th, Bryce Allen in a borrowed car. He ran Stephen Biggerstaff's car. He got 6th, went up 8 spots, so he was the hard charger on the night. Hunter Poston 5th, Austin Hardesty 4th. Sean Kralik was 7 spots gained in 3rd. Daniel Bodler in 2nd, and then going back-to-back, he's here with us, Evan Davis getting the win.
Top 10 in your B-Mods point standings. 10th place is the 20 car of Kirk McKay at Lennox. 9th place is David Schwartz. He's got 2 feature wins on the season. 8th place is the 86J of Jared Weston. 7th place is Evan Davis out of Corning with 2 feature wins on the season. 6th place is Dalton Davis out of Corning. He has got, I don't think that point standings is correct, but I'll have to go back and look. 5th place is the 11 car of Austin Hardesty out of Adair. 4th place is Hunter Poston out of Villisca. He's got 8 top 5s out of 12 starts. 3rd place is the Fontenelle Flyer, Daniel Bowdler, in the 6B. He's got 1 feature run on the season. 2nd place is the 16A of Bryce Allen. He's got 2 feature runs in the season. And your point leader, he is currently 48 points ahead. It is the 0 car of Sean Kralik with 3 feature runs in the season, and he has never finished out of the top 5. So it's there's a reason why Sean Kralik is your point leader. I mean, if you finish in the top 5 every single week, you're probably going to win the points. But back-to-back over here, Evan Davis. You would be higher in the point standings, but you missed a couple nights.
Yeah, best man in a wedding and a bachelor party and a blown-up transmission kind of derailed our season a little bit.
So it sounds like you need to get better friends. You need to figure out how to schedule weddings, and you need to figure out a tranny guy.
Yeah. Well, that one had 3 or 4 seasons on it that we had.
Wasn't that up at the Midwest Tour?
No, that was a gear. That was the night after.
Gotcha.
Double feature night. The first feature, I had a transmission go bad, so
Gotcha.
we threw in a backup and headed off for Minnesota that week. So
Well, I tell you what, speaking of blown transmissions, first lap of the feature, you were starting up near the front, so like, did you kind of see what was all going on in front of you there? Or?
I think most of the debris actually went over our car.
God.
All I got was a bunch of fluid or grease, whatever it was, and then one of my left rear tire had a big old rip taken out of the very inside tread.
Oh, wow.
So not too bad. I didn't notice anything hitting my helmet or hitting the car. I did pull off all 10 tear-offs, taking the grease off of the shield, though. So it was a good thing I was on the front row, because I'd have been hosed if not.
So, yeah, for those that don't know, if you didn't see last week, Kenny Champ had some issues. I would say blown transmission, but it was more of like an explosion all over the backstretch.
Part of the motor blew up too, like exploded
just,
too. So
debris everywhere, and we were very fortunate. Josh Sink had a huge dent in the front of his car. I believe he hit I think he said he hit the drive shaft, and you could see the parts flying down the back straightaway. So we were very lucky that everybody was. All those parts missed everybody, but it was wild.
A couple of our safety guys picked up. I know Lance picked up. He said he picked up probably at least 30 chunks of metal. I mean, it was just. It took us. I think it was like a 25 minute red just to get all the debris picked up. And when you're sitting in a car during a red flag like that, do you just get like more nervous or?
I was talking to Austin the whole time. I was like, I looked over and he could kind of see me, and I went, "Did you see that?" And he goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Drive shaft this big right by my window." And so we were yelling back and forth, and then it didn't seem like it took that long after that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I know. We had plenty of time. I was discussing going down with the mic and interviewing some drivers while we were sitting there, but I didn't want to bother any of them. So.
We didn't really see what had happened at first. I mean, it was a puff of smoke, but it wasn't like crazy. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing like pieces flying. I guess a piece of metal went into the infield and hit Anthony Fletchall's race car. Like that's how far it went into the infield. Yeah. And I was really, really thankful that nobody got, because people stand on that close to that guardrail.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody got hit with something.
No, the guys next to us said they had a piece of something slide between where his car sits and where mine would have been sitting, right between the cars.
Nothing hit your pickup or anything?
Nothing that I saw, and I didn't see any new dents on the trailers. So
any new dents? Yeah. So, well, I tell you what. Tell us about the race. It was kind of the same situation as the first one. You kind of just got out front and. Kind of just checked out. I think this one you kind of had more guys breathing down the back of your neck, but did you know how close they were there? But I mean, it was just kind of the same thing. You got out front, did a bunch of consistent laps, and nobody could really get around you.
I could see through the first half of that race, I could see Austin down on the inside. Every time I'd come out of 2 or come out of 4, I could see that red nose kind of squeaking up on me, and I thought he was maybe going to pull up beside me. I kept seeing a little more of it and a little more of it, and then I can't remember if the caution came out or he had said that some water or something down there on the bottom kind of made him slide up, and after that, once I was starting on the front by myself after that halfway caution, those guys came up beside me on that yellow. Bryce and Bodler did, and that kind of that scared me. Yeah, letting me know. Yeah, that gave me a little bit of a spook.
They do that on purpose. But okay, so talk a little bit about equipment wise. You made a big change this year. You went from a crate to an open.
Yes.
Tell me about that decision-making process and some of the things that has benefited you this year making that change, and because I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about that stuff, because people say crates are just as powerful and they're cheaper and all this stuff. They're cheaper to maintain. What's your opinion on that kind of stuff?
My biggest opinion is the RPM difference is a little bit different, where you get the extra, like I can't remember if it's 800 or 1,000, whatever the difference is.
Because what it's you guys have to run for crate. Is it 64?
62.
62, right?
Yep. And then here it's 72 for an open, and it's 68 everywhere IMCA. But that's because of the 4-barrel to 2-barrel difference on the carburetor.
Right.
So that's why
it's more top end speed, obviously, on the straightaways. But what are some other things? I mean, do you really have it? I mean, does it kind of fit your driving style more? Does it?
I don't know. I'd say I had a little bit more of a learning curve with it, honestly, going back to the 2-barrel. There's a little less responsiveness. The Recaro carb I have is really good on it, but with those 4-barrel, there's just so much more you can do with camming and making it smoother. So I think it's a little choppier with the 2-barrel versus my 4-barrel.
There's only, a couple guys left, I think, in the B-Mods that run opens, and I think it's you and Kralik, I think.
Yeah, I think so. DJ Most might have one too, but I'm not sure.
It just goes to show that if you know what you're doing and you maintain it, you can, in the B-Mod class and in the hobby stocks, really, I mean, you can run kind of whatever and be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good guys, Hunter, Bodler, Josh Sank, Kirk, all those guys, Bryce, all them guys run crates, and they do really good with them. And we ran good when we had a crate last year too. But
I'm just trying to put the bug to bed about this the stupid stereotype of Adams County Speedway saying that you can't win with a crate down here.
No, I mean,
you've been running an open all year long, and it took you three months to get your first. I mean, just because you're running a crate doesn't mean you don't have a chance. I mean, you have most people run crates down here.
We've had 7 different feature winners, and 2 of us have open
right.
runners. So
exactly. I mean, there's so many people that I talk to that don't know Adams County very well that say, "Oh, that's just a big half-mile long straightaways. The more horsepower you get, the better you're going to be," and that's not true at all.
It was my idea when I actually switched to one. That was my thinking, and so much of it. I mean, they're close. There's a small difference, but it's not a marginal difference. I mean, a good driver's still gonna do good things in a good car, no matter what difference in motor it's got.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think probably where you see your biggest difference is in the A modifieds. You know,
true.
Those are where you're going to be putting down a lot more power, and when the
it's
track
just
gets
crazy
slick,
though. Those 604 crates though that those A mods run, man, those things put out some power though.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of it's to the wheel too. I mean you can have a good number on a board, but do you have all the good stuff through the drivetrain to get it to the ground?
And it takes talent in the driver's seat too. I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a talent to do it, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
go. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to talk to you about the first one you got, you were down on the bottom side. Well, last week you were pretty much up top the whole race. I feel like your car normally works a little bit better on the bottom, and I don't really see up top a lot. But you were up there, I mean, ripping the cush. I mean, was that fun? I don't know how often you do it, but
I had to do it in my first car a lot because that car
I
wouldn't
remember
turn.
that. Yeah, I remember that.
So I was just kind of married to that.
I think it was almost like a leaf spring car.
Yeah, it was a 3-link, but it only had about 3 holes on either side, and the underslung cut out of it so that the rear end would hike up. But it was a square tube rear underslung, is from about 2006. So no, this car is awesome. We've gotten it. We came a long way on the tour of trying things and having to race on tracks we didn't necessarily like or know very well, and throwing stuff at it. We found a couple things.
You really
that made
learn
this
a lot
thing
from
really
that
nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to build your confidence too, knowing that you can take that car wherever you want, and you know it's going to be good. So I mean, that's you can, if you can't get to the bottom side, you can just go up to the top side and rail around them. So it's definitely got to feel good to do that. But
and cool to have a track where we can do both of those things too. That was nice to be able to run side by side with the guy and have two really kind of predominant lanes. The middle was there. I started dropping off in 1 and 2 later in the race, chasing a streak, but that was more I was getting nervous. I kept getting tight on the top, and it kind of folded on the cushion. I didn't want to bury it.
Tire might have been going away a little bit too. It's all that kind of stuff. But race fans, we are at the top of the hour. Got to do a little station identification. You're listening to KCSI 95.3 out of Red Oak, along with the YouTube channel. We're here with Evan Davis, and Evan, you're on a hot streak right now. I know you brought a list up here for people to thank. You have some time to thank some people. And then we'll get you out of here on your way, and you're going for 3 in a row tonight. So.
I'm going to try. I'm not promising anything. I didn't know the first 2 were going to happen, so I'm not promising anything. But, I got to thank Allison Show Pigs, Victory Race Cars, Damewood Auto Sales and Repair, Lund Farms, Reclaimed Waste Clothing Co., Don's Body Shop in Lenox, Dessert First Treat Shop, Poston Farms, 6S Trucking, Finn Trucking, Western Iowa Racing Results, Midstate Machine Race Engines. I don't think there's any more. Oh, Southwest Bat Removal.
Southwest Bat Removal. There you go. That's the best sponsor.
That's Evan's favorite one right there.
It is.
So,
take care of your any flying rodent problems. Call Southwest Bat Removal.
That's right.
I tell you what, really quick before you go, we're kind of getting to the end of the season. You went on that tour up there. Is there any other shows you're kind of looking at hitting here at the end of the year?
We're going to run the tradition here like we always do or have for the past 3 years. I'm actually going to go up, and hopefully they have it the Peterson Memorial Eldon Raceway. They're just a county fair track that runs like once a month. We're going to go try and hit that where it's a half mile. Shouldn't have to change the track or the car a whole lot. And then the Tiny Lund weekend, and I think that's about it for us. We're going to call it a year and get ready for next year.
Well, I think we're signed out of here, so I'm not going to have I'm going to have my dad come back in, but what we're going to do, I'm going to have you go up there and we'll grab Jeff James, we'll get him in here, and then we'll get Brad on. I don't know the sign-in for this is the problem, but thanks for coming on, Evan. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We'll just stay live here, and we'll just grab Jeff, and we'll keep going. But, Cole, if you want to go ahead, let's do some modified results really quick, if you want to do that, and then we'll go through some Poet Biorefining modified results here. We're going to stay live on the air because our Skylapad is signed out, and it's unfortunately, I don't know the login for it. My dad usually does that. So we're going to get Jeff James hooked up here. But go ahead and give us our results from our B mods. Go ahead and we're live, Jeff, but we're just going to go ahead and just get you going. So go ahead and give us our results.
Yeah, top 10 in the A mods were Colton Garside in 10th, Hayden Johnson in 9th, Tony Hardesty 8th, Austin Paul 7th, Josh Cooper 6th, Andrew Clark in 5th, Brad Bergeron in 4th, Jeff Wiggins in 3rd, and then your hard charger in 2nd, going 8 spots, is Jesse Dennis, and then your winner that just joined us now is Jeff James in 71.
Top 10 in your Poet Biorefining point standings. 10th place is Craig Garner. 9th place is the 88 of Hayden Johnson on Nottoway. 8th place is the 37 of Allison Davidson. 7th place is the 0 of Tony Hardesty. 6th is the 11F of Colton Garside out of Greenfield. Moving into our top 5, the 5th place runner is the 36T of Jeff Wiggins out of Greenfield. He's got 11 top 5s on the season out of 12 starts. Fourth place, is a 10J of Josh Cooper out of Prescott. He's got 2 feature runs on the season. 3rd place is the A5 of Austin Paul out of Newton with 1 feature run on the season and 10 top 5s out of 13 starts. Second place in points. He's 46 points back of the lead. It's Brad Bergeron in the 38 out of Red Oak. He's got 1 feature run on the season. But your point leader is Jesse Ennis in the 70 car with 8 feature wins on the season out of 13 starts. And he is a 46-point gap from second place. But our feature winner last week, we welcomed him back to the Speedway after a hiatus due to health and all this kind of stuff. And you know you're getting older, so it might take a little longer to heal. But Jeff James, what's up, man?
Oh, not much. How are you guys?
I like this, man. It looks good.
Yeah, it's getting old. See all the gray, all the gray and everything that's in there.
I think here in the future, you're going to be turning into the old Santa Claus going on there.
I'll just shave my hair.
Well, you came back to the Speedway. What was your expectations coming into the night, really?
After the week we had getting the car put together, Brad went with me. We went over to Eastern Iowa, put the engine in, put the drive line in, scaled it, got everything. After the week we had working on it all the way up until Saturday at 4 o'clock, I was just hoping nothing fell off. Really.
Well, you took advantage of a front row starting spot, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, 71 hasn't been here in a while, but when he starts on the front row, it's tough to beat, and nobody even had a chance for it. But I do want to talk to you about the old when the car died.
Yeah.
We were up here like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I went to pass that lapper, and we'd put a master switch in it. You're supposed to have one, and we're like, okay, we'll just put it right here. It's easy to get to. Everybody can get in there and get to it. Well, it's also easy for my elbow when I start getting up on the wheel. We had it so on is straight up and off is back. Well, my elbow must have been in forward and went back, and it shut the car off.
So you're scrambling.
Yeah, and I couldn't see it. I was just trying to feel, and I was moving my arm around, and finally my hand hit it, and I shoved it back forward, and away we went. So.
It's kind of like a sprint car driver. When the sprint car shut off and turned back on.
You're gonna have to get one of those little like bomb launch button thing, the covers for it. So,
flip it up, turn it on, flip it back down.
Well, it's in a completely different spot
Yeah, good
where
idea.
nothing is going to hit it now.
Good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
But you probably went back and watched the video. I'm sure there was a video of it. But you were out by a long ways. And I said earlier, even if Jesse would have passed you when that happened, you had the better car. I mean, your lap times were consistently way faster. You were running a different line than pretty much everybody else was, and you seemed to be able to run anywhere, really.
Yeah, for the first night, it was, it was actually pretty good. I mean, at least what I thought. I think there's room for improvement, but to start off with, it was pretty decent. A lot of that comes to that. I've been helping Brad, and his car is a twin to mine, the one I got. So we kind of had a pretty good idea. He was there through the whole deal. He helped me. We helped scale it. He had ideas. I mean, we put it pretty much where, he's been racing his, and I mean, that's where we started. So it's not like I had to have a big learning curve like he has since the beginning of the year. I pretty much had something that was a top 2 or 3 car, rolling it right out of the trailer, and I had to just not screw it up. That's the honest answer.
And we know how impressive Brad Bergen's been this year. He's been the only one that is consistently been competing with the 70 car and putting on great shows doing it. I mean he has improved so much this year, and those chassis that you're running too, I mean those things are quality pieces.
Yeah, well, I mean Eckridge has been in the sport for years and years and years. I think they said the dad, Larry, started it in the 60s or the 70s or something, He had late models, they always had the number 50 on the Bush Tour. All the brothers have raced. The one that's actually building the cars was always the crew chief for Denny when he ran the Bush Tour all those years. I mean, so every single one of them, that's all they do is race. So I'm guessing after that many years, they ought to have it figured out. Well, and they kind of got pushed into having to build their own cars. I don't know that they really were 100% ready to do that, but they kind of had no choice, and they started building a few, and they went really well, and they're like, well, so now they're building them, but they can't keep up with demand because there's so many people that want those cars. So
were you chomping at the bit, ready to get back to racing, or were you just kind of waiting, or what took you so long?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for a while, and then the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've really been. It's gotten really bad. I was like, man, I want to get back in a race car. For a little while, we had stuff to do, and we went go-karting. Me and my son have fun doing that, and that took care for a while. And then here about the last month, I was like, okay, I've had enough. I've mowed the yard more this year than I have since we moved in 2005. I was bored. It was like, it's time to do something. So
give you something to do again.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if you're that excited to get back to it, that'd mean a lot to win, that first night back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough too, because we talk about it when you take a long break, and these guys have been racing all year. It's tough just to hop in, when these guys have had reps all year long. But I think that just shows how much experience you have here and how good those cars are. So it was definitely
it really
cool.
helps that you have Brad too.
Yeah. Well, it's scary. It's scary for the competition to hear that there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
After he put a straightaway on the field twice.
You did put a straightaway on the field twice. You were a straightaway ahead. He just felt bad, race fans, and pressed the off switch just to make it a better race.
Well, I don't know about that. You talking about it. I had to get used to the car a little bit, but you guys may not know. My first lap here was in 1994, and neither one of you were probably even born.
I was born in 96.
I was gonna say,
when were you born?
99.
99.
Yeah, I'm like you guys probably don't even remember my first laps because you weren't born yet here. So
you're getting some gray hair.
Yeah, it's making me feel old.
But so what does the rest of the year look like for the 71 crew? Obviously, probably finish the year out here. What's some other shows you're going to run?
I'm going to try and do as much as I can now. I wanted to get a couple nights under it. Brad went to Stewart on Wednesday, and I had some work stuff. I really wanted to go, but he's done with go-karting on Friday, this coming Friday. Eagles night's over, and I think we're going to probably start hitting it pretty hard after that. I'd like to try and catch all the shows here, obviously catch a tradition. Hopefully, if it isn't September 2nd, but
the conversation is there. We already told the race fans. We said, race fans, pay attention to social media. It's not set in stone. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. But
okay, that's fine.
Keep going. Keep going.
I'd like to hit the tradition. I'm probably going to go up to Harlan to the Tiny Lund. I think Brad wants to do that. There's some Eastern Iowa shows that I think have, seemed like they've been a pretty good deal. I think we're going to try and hit some of those. Maybe
World Nationals in Marshalltown?
Yeah, I might.
I'd love to see it in Marshalltown. I love Marshalltown.
Yeah, I've been there like 2016. I was there once, and it was super fun. It's on Friday nights, and it's 3 hours away.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
But, obviously when you got a car, I'd see how it stacks up tonight. Probably ain't gonna start on the front row. We're gonna race later.
Well, point average though, you'll be up there.
I know. I don't want to pass too many cars. We'll keep it easy for a while.
He's a front row Joe. Right
yeah, that's what I told Brad. I'm like, I might have to start second row. He goes, that'd be terrible if you had to pass 2 cars, wouldn't it? I'm like, yeah.
Because Brad has to pass like half the field.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, I have to pass 10.
Him and Jesse's point average, they got to start in the back. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he was not. I climbed out of the car. It's funny. I was just being a smart. And I climbed out of the car Saturday night after he got out, and I said, I don't see why that was so hard. And he's like, oh, yeah, you think so? So, yeah. But, no, it's fun. I mean, it was fun to have a good run. It was fun to not tear something up. The 3 months, it was a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of everything to get back on the track, and it's ridiculous, but I can't do anything else.
So I've got other good news for you while I'm thinking of it. We are in the works of also putting a go-kart track here in the next couple of years. So
that would be amazing.
So because we've been talking about it with the Fair Board since I-80's go-kart track's gone, it's kind of a no-brainer for us, really.
It is.
Because there's so many, I mean, he's a prime example. There's so many young racers around here, sons and daughters of race car drivers that race here that have to drive to Eagle for go-kart. And if you can drive 25 minutes from Stanton over here, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They get... I can't believe how crazy the deals are. I mean, every class has 20, 25 go-karts in it. They're only starting 14. I mean, there's B features. It's...
Mm-hmm.
I bet they get... I'm guessing between the classes they run, I bet they have 125 to 150 go-karts every night.
The good news is I do believe it's going to happen. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, but I do believe we're going to get one back here.
Yeah,
so
I think it would be a good deal. There's a lot of people that I know even from there that go karting, but don't necessarily come to the races. Well, they come to the racing, or maybe all of us race for trophies. We don't race for any money. Good idea is you win your class. Say if you do it Friday night, Sunday, whatever day you guys choose, Thursdays. Here's a trophy and here's 2 free tickets to the races. I mean, it helped get some families that I know that aren't necessarily big car racing families,
like
but they're
go-kart. There you go.
I've already got a text earlier this year and I turned it down.
Brad, you want to promote a go-kart track? Nope, I got 3 kids that want to race. There you go. I told you. So
I think all of us have kids that would race go-karts, and
I know we wouldn't have an issue getting carts down here. I know that.
Well, we could get like an adult heavyweight class that I'd
put him off track. So So all right. Well, do you have any people you want to thank really quick? Some sponsors you want to thank before we get you out of here, and we'll get the other guy in here. So
yeah, first and foremost, my family. We do a lot of things that are racing related and not do other things. And, putting the car together, obviously, we shorted on some things because, like I said, it's a money deal. I mean, there's a lot of money in building a new car.
Especially in A-mods.
Yeah, and, so them, first and foremost, them, my dad, Bissell Farms, they've helped me out the last couple of years. True Farms, they've been a sponsor for a long time.
He was excited. He was walking down the stairs when you won. I was walking down. He gave me the big old thumbs up. He was excited. So
yeah, it was a good deal. Eckridge's over there, Precision Performance. They treated me right on the car, and they got it done for me. They could have told me it'd be next year, and that's really what it was. Brad Bergeron, he kind of helped get this deal to go because it's not just anybody under the sun can get one of these cars, and he kind of helped me get in the door and and helped me get it going. And he's done a lot for somebody that I'm going to race against that you could have been like, I'm not going to help you that much, But
There's just one more guy he has to pass.
Yeah, one more guy he has to race with has to pass. I mean, so it's awesome that he does that for me. Just everybody. There's a bunch of little people that help, here and there and help with stuff, and it's it's big. Josh still sells me parts and get stuff from him. He helped me out. He kept up on it. He's a rival chassis builder and was still, get this and get that. There's a bunch of guys that help that really don't have to. So I thank everybody that has anything to do with it. So
well, you might have to pass a couple cars tonight. That's just a bummer, but we wish you luck tonight and wish you luck the rest of the year. It sounds like you're going to be hitting it hard, and we'll be seeing you on probably some streams over the state of Iowa and stuff like that, but we wish you luck, and thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you, and I hope you can watch me on TV somewhere, too.
All right, race fans, I was driving the 71 car, Jeff James out of Stanton, Iowa. We're going to take our last commercial break, come back with our stock car point leader and our feature winner from last week, Brad Derry. We'll be right back with you.
Yep, there we go.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here down at County Speedway, as well as our YouTube channel on the KCSI website. Welcome back. We're going to get to some results here real quick, but also, once again, thank you to Shore Motor Company and all of our sponsors here on KCSI on the Pitside Live show. We can't do it without you guys. We really appreciate all you guys.
I got results up here.
Yep,
so.
Go ahead and do that.
Top 5 last week in our Northland Oil stock cars. I got to scroll down to it here as we've got everything on here. So 5th place was John Kinzer out of right here in Corning. 4th place was David Nail in the 42 car. Good run for him. 3rd place was second in point standings, Brock Badger out of Bagley. 2nd place by that much was Jason Rold. And 1st place by that much was this guy, Brad Derry, and he is also our point leader. But Brad, did you have any idea that you actually won?
I didn't know if we won or not. It was close. I don't know where that loop's at, if it's before the flag stand or after the flag stand.
It's just before it.
Yep. So it was going to be a close one regardless. So,
so I guess Rold had his transponder mounted actually farther back than what he could have done.
He did.
But I don't know if that would have made a difference. The eyeball test, I didn't even see it on my race pass, but I called it right away. I was like, you won, because the eyeball test showed that you were like just a little bit ahead.
It's hard to say. I mean, after Jason told me that, it kind of took some cream off the crop there. But how far is .08 at 65, 75 mile an hour?
Right.
We don't know.
And
Actually, it's
like I said,
closer to 90.
like I said,
Oh, there you go.
if it makes you feel any better, I called it immediately. I said Brad Derry's your winner without even looking, because I could tell by just the eyeball test that it looked like you were a little bit farther ahead. So, but
I think I spooked him when I went on the bottom there.
yeah, tell me about that corner. Turn 2. How did you get that car to hook up right there?
Well, I lost a week before because I was married to the top side. So you got to do something different. And I just let her float in, did not use the brake at all, and it stuck. And I'm like, in my helmet, that worked. So then we come around the corner and had momentum. So,
and it was incredible to me because, like you said, you're typically a high side guy. I mean, everywhere you go, you
somebody cut a foot off the top of both ends, though.
and it's yeah, let's just not go there. But it's something that you as a driver, it really surprises you sometimes too that what your car is actually capable of.
Well, like the car we've got, that 2019 B&B, it's working really good. We can go top, middle, anything, and it pretty well tells me what it likes to do, and most of the time, if it's not running there, it's the driver's fault anyway. So,
I mean, you still have the new car.
I do,
and it's been here once or twice. Is that right?
No, it ran the all first half of the season here.
Well, I mean, recently, did you have?
I had both of them here one night.
The Woodard one.
Yeah, Dale.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. If I didn't, I said I'm pretty sure that's your other car.
So my question is, are we going to see somebody in it for the tradition?
Well, there would have been somebody in it this week, but we dropped a valve at US 36 2 weeks ago and just got a power plant back, and we've had a rash of things going wrong at home, and I haven't had time to get it in and run it. So that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
I know one guy that a lot of people are saying that would love to see it is Jesse Dennis.
Yeah, he might have the opportunity. We got to talk about it. So
I've always said, I'm good friends with Chubbs, and I've always said we got to get you in a stock car because I guarantee you'll fall in love with it.
Yeah, that's most mod guys do. They enjoy them. So
I've always given him crap, but I'm trying to get him in a compact.
Ooh.
He used to have a compact camp down there.
He did what?
Yeah, you have to ask Frank about that.
It's a long old story. I like flipping
So
crap.
there was a guy that used to work for Frank.
Oh, yeah,
and
he does.
Ronnie.
He's the one that really helped to get us going.
Yeah, he used to have like 7 compacts, like chassis back behind Frank's body shop, and Frank's like, "Oh, I had nothing to do with that."
That's funny.
It's like every time I say, "Hey, when you get one of them compacts out?"
Yeah,
he just totally.
Chubbs wouldn't be able to fit in the window.
I can tell you what. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Never mind. So
when are you going to drive a compact?
I'm not. Nor will my
Would you
kids.
be able to fit in the window?
You should try and get in the window of my stock car. It's tight.
Yeah. Well, who was it last week? Oh, it was Jeff. You were getting down there to do the. Yeah, here's your one. I'm like, well, let him get out of the car because it's going to take him a second to get out of the car.
Yeah.
I asked him afterwards. I said, "Do we need to get some grease to grease you out of this car, or what?" Good Lord!
Oh,
I mean, he was still trying to get out of the car when you're. I was like, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I would have been the same way. That's the thing, It's like just got to cut those openings bigger.
So are the kids here with their box cars?
The 2 of them.
Awesome.
Meredith decided not to do it this year. Yeah, but Justice and Marshall both have their box cars. They built them today. They're super stoked.
Good, cool.
Yeah,
it's super fun. So I'm looking forward to it. We do have a new stock car here tonight.
Seen that.
Longtime USRA driver out of Mount Air, Dennis Elliott is here.
Dennis here.
So he's down there, and I forgot that he bought Jeff French's trailer, and he pulled in. I'm like, who is that? And then I look at it, it's Dennis Elliott. So
that trailer's been around.
He is a longtime USRA guy. He's been racing USRA for years. He raced USMTS for a while too. So hey, another stock car.
Yeah, the last time he was at 36, I think he rolled that car.
So I know he went to a stock car, and it's good to have him here. Any stock car that we can get,
exactly.
100% invite him here. And we're talking about tradition stuff, and you're the prime example. You and Scuba are like any way that we can get guys that we can race against that are not our same 7, 8, 9 guys.
Nothing against the same guys that are here. It's just we want to have a full field, 30 cars, 40 cars, 50 cars.
It makes it a better show.
Yep.
Right.
It's few but mighty. That's what I say right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's always a hell of a show.
And that's the thing. But and the tradition. The one thing about tradition, I mean, I've been on it since the inception with Jim Wichman and us on the group. It's a stock car special.
Yep.
I mean, because back in the day, it was stock cars and late models. I mean, you had C features.
Right.
I mean, you had C features, and that was what we started.
Then we went to
for.
hobby stocks.
Right. You know, it was a congratulation thing for you guys' class to put on a big money show and then have other cars come down and compete with us and see what they would do. I mean, that's what it started.
In 2004, when I first started the hobby stock class, there was 40 to 50 cars every night.
Yep.
I only made the feature 11 times my first year of racing, my first full year of racing.
It was a good night just to make the feature.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Very much so.
And I remember, as you know, watching Jim Toll sit on top of the trailer one night, that he was a point leader and he didn't get to make it in the show.
I mean,
so I remember that.
That was incredible. You know, back in the day when you know I had to help.
Well, that was when
manually
things
do the
were a lot
points.
more affordable too.
Yeah, but
my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that class started in 01, and then like you said, 04, 05, we had 50 of them. It was just amazing.
And it was just simple back then too.
Yep.
You bought an old Monte Carlo and you gutted it. You put a cage in it. You put a 350 in it, and you raced it.
Right.
I mean, nowadays racers are kind of just epitome of their own, judgment. You guys do everything you can to get faster and faster, and sometimes it kicks yourselves in the foot because it makes things more expensive and more expensive. So
I mean, what else is there for entry level other than
well, there's that Crown Vic class now. That'd be fun.
I've mentioned that.
Did you hear about that?
There's somebody you pit down there, but it talks about a lot.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'd rather.
I'll bet
stick
you
to the
that's
hobby
fun.
stocks.
I'll bet you that's fun.
I'm sure it is, but them hobby stocks, they'll teach you a lot.
Yeah.
They really will.
So I remember. So you won in Jeremy's car that year. That was probably the coolest win of your career.
Oh, it was pretty neat. Yep.
And what's the main difference? Just to tell people between a stock car and a hobby stock. I mean, steering obviously, quick steer, but
steering, brakes, weight jacks, lead, fuel, tires.
Because there's so many people that sit in this that sit in these stands that have no idea the difference.
The engine. So there's a crate motor, 602 crate. Most of these guys are running. Some are running an open motor. But long story short, it's another $3,000 for the motor or whatever. Basically, a lot of these stock car guys are spending anywhere from $7 to upwards. For engines, and that's just the way it is. And it's one of the best engines I ever had. I only had $3,500 into. It was the best engine I ever had. Lasted 100 nights and grenaded, and that was the end of it. Yeah. So we refreshed it 2 times in the course of that. But unfortunately, you can't do that anymore to be competitive. So
just from a driver standpoint too, the hobby stocks drive so much different than a stock car does.
We're all mimicking modifieds. I mean, a stock car today is a modified with fenders actually and a full bumper on the front. I mean, honestly, that's what we're all doing. That's what we're all achieving.
You can visually see it too because
you
guys are so down your right front now, and your guys are all running tie downs and all that kind of stuff. So
some people like to live on the right front, some people live on the right rear, some people like the left rear hiked way up. I don't like any of that. I like a pretty neutral car. So it just kind of, you got to figure out what works for you, what might work for John doesn't work for Adam, what doesn't work for me, Steve. It don't matter. I mean, it's just every person has to find that sweet spot, and so many people blame the chassis company for not, not being fast, and you could literally be 2 turns from the promised land and not know it. So
I'll tell you what, I'm glad you came up here, but I tell you what, I just looked at the clock.
It's hot lap time.
I'm like, holy crap!
Are you hot lapping?
Anybody you want to thank while you're here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do got to run out my sponsors real quick.
Absolutely.
So Shore Motor Company, Josh Wyman, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Jake Gillespie, Dairy Construction, One Source Restoration, Victory Powerline Services, Sleeps Tile Yard, Creston Motor Supply, DW Race Engines, B&B Chassis, Paul Berger, my smoking hot wife, Taylor, in-laws Scott and Chris, my brother Josh Derry, Brody, Micah, and Tyler Gray, Josh Dornbush, my mom and dad. I couldn't do it without their support. My kids for sure, and all the scuba crew that helps out all the time. If we need something, they're there. They're always there to help.
Except Hewlett, right?
Well, he's in the stands most of the time.
Yeah,
so.
was last week.
But that's about all we got there.
Had to give him crap. So
yeah, he was here last week. Got to talk to him a little bit.
Yep.
So.
Well, Brad, we wish you luck tonight. Go down and get some hot laps in. We thank you for coming up here.
Hey, that's a nice looking Packer. Too bad we didn't have some paint on it.
We're gonna paint it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Sponsorship. You get sponsorship.
Dre's gonna make something for
it,
and then whoever wants to sponsor, we're gonna sponsor it.
Gotcha. So yeah, we're gonna do it. So.
And that'll help pay for it.
So. Awesome.
I'll let you get out of here. We gotta log off and sign off. But good luck. Thanks for coming up here. We'll get you.
Well, race fans, we're coming down to the checkered flag here, and it's time to go racing. Once again, race fans, CHI Kids Boxcar Night tonight. Next week, Salute to Trucking, and then the following night is our championship night. Make sure you stay up with our social media for tradition details. It's going to be coming out tomorrow. There's going to be information coming out. Make sure that you are following social media. Don't ask questions. Just wait, because the information is not there yet, but it will be. So just be patient with us. We'll get it out to you as soon as we can. But are you ready to roll?
Yeah, we'll see if this shuts us off. If not, we'll log back into it. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you, and let's go racing.